Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of our Meet the Caps video series. Tonight we have as our guest Morgan Martin. Morgan, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, it's Morgan. It's early December. Well, actually, not even early December now. I guess we're getting fairly close to Christmas, and I think it's been probably about 3 weeks since we've done one of these video interviews because of the schedule of the team. First of all, it's great to have you tonight, and we're really, I know there's lots of people quite interested to see your video, so that's a good thing. And also, now that we're farther into the season, I think it'll be interesting to get your comments about how the team's been doing and what's in store for us moving forward. But first, before we get into that, let's wind the clock back a little bit and tell me about your interest in hockey. So you've been playing for a while, and what did it originate from?
Yeah, I've been playing since I was 6, and I think really just initially what got me interested was my dad, because he played hockey for a long time, and he just thought it'd be cool to have an organized sport, so just started playing hockey in Timbits, I guess.
Okay. Well, for those viewers that may not know, Morgan's father is Bob Martin, who's certainly one of the most famous hockey players from these regions. Played a lot of hockey back in the 60s, 70s, and I think even probably into the 80s as well. But Bob was known as a really tough hockey player. He was one of the best scrappers in the Maritimes, and had a reputation, of course, for toughness and so forth. Morgan, your game is there's certainly no fighting in the hockey that we play, but you certainly play a tough game. You're well known for your magnificent hits, and there's been a number of them this year. In fact, we tend to grade those hits, and you've had a couple of open ice hits this year that have just been fabulous. A very physical game, which is awesome for the team in a number of ways, but one of the things it does set the other team certainly aware when you're on the ice, and you're able to clear out the front of the net and those sorts of things. So we'll get back to that in a little bit of a second, but it's certainly nice for people to know about your lineage, and you come by it honestly. So besides hockey, which I know is one of your passions, but you like other sports as well. So tell me what else you're involved with.
I don't really play many other sports. I'm just mostly involved in hockey. I did play football for a little bit.
Okay.
But I don't really play that many other sports. I enjoy watching football, watching baseball, just all those kinds of sports, but hockey's my primary sport. Okay. And I know you've dabbled a little bit in fastball, because a number of the guys in the team played fastball for a couple of summers. And of course, at the lake, you and the McCarthys, the Martins and McCarthys have cottages side by side, and I know you guys do a lot of lake activities, water skiing and playing around down there, and that's a lot of fun too. So, okay, now last year you played Bantam AA hockey, and this year you made AAA, and I'm sure you were thrilled to get the call and that you made the team. How would you compare the two leagues, the AA league and the AAA league? Definitely the AA league is more physical, I'd say. Okay. In the aspect, just there's less skill players, and they're not as fast as the ones in AAA. Okay. It's more hitting, but there's still a fair amount of hitting in AAA, and it's harder hitting usually, but it's just the pace is way faster in AAA, and the intensity is way up, and just more professional level when you get to AAA. Okay. Now, Morgan, I know that you last summer and last spring you worked really hard on your game, particularly your skating, which I mean it's quite something, the progress you've made, and that of course I'm sure was the key for you making the AAA. So tell me, what was your, last year at the end of the season, did you have a plan of making AAA, or how did it all unfold? Well, last year I made it to the last round for the AAA cuts, I got, and I was heartbroken after that because I thought I was going to make it, but I think that helped me grow as a hockey player, and I started working out a little more, just getting my skating up. I went to Nets for the summer, got better skating, and I think that really did help me. I just improved overall as a hockey player, and I think that really did help me to make AAA this year. Oh, very good. Now, in the spring, did you play for the Tommies program? Yeah, I did. That was really good. I enjoyed the entire season. We had John Major as coach. Okay. He was good, and it was a good team. We had you guys had a really good team, didn't you? A lot of the guys are on this team actually. Owen Charter, Jordan Major, all them. But it's it was good. I was just going to say for the viewers that may not know, so Jordan Major, who's one of our players as well, his father John is who you're referring to. And John is, of course, a well-known coach from these areas, and has coached a lot of the guys, like you mentioned, a lot of the guys on the team, not necessarily even this past spring, but previous years. A lot of the guys played in the Tommies program, and there's a lineage there as well. Okay, so Morgan, tell me a little bit about, you've played spring hockey over a number of years. You've played hockey since you were 6 years old.
Tell me about different places you like to play hockey, some of the rinks maybe you like, or some of the locations, trips you might have been on, that sort of thing.
I like all hockey trips. I think it's a cool experience, just the bus trips, even just road trips with your family, going to different rinks. I enjoy all that because it's just a new experience. It's different rinks, how the teams in that area play compared to how you play. But I think my favorite rinks are the Franklin rinks. I don't know, I just grew up in these and I just like them the best.
Oh, very good. And I think, I'm suspecting you're like a lot of the guys that are really enjoying playing out of the LBR this year. First of all, this is a rink that has so much history, and I mean, it goes literally back, I think, even into the 50s when it was first built, and it's been renovated a few times, but still it has the characteristics of one of those old New Brunswick rinks. The ice is really good, it tends to be a little cold, but I know from the fans' perspective, we can get so close to the ice, you actually almost feel like you're in the game. I think the players enjoy playing in that environment as well. So, if you think, Morgan, about all the hockey you have played, what's kind of your best hockey memory? What's something that might have happened that you think of that was a real good memory?
Looking back, I don't think I have really one particular hockey memory that I like the best. I just enjoy the game overall. It's a team sport. I like it. It's just hockey itself is the best memory when you look at it.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Very good. Okay, let's talk about game day. So what do you do to get ready? What's the typical routine for you on, say, a Saturday?
I usually just eat something that's good for pre-game, some kind of pasta, something like that usually, and I usually drink some chocolate milk just for a pre-game meal. Okay. And then it's basically just tune in my music, I guess, and I just focus. That's how I get focused, and then right to the rink and get dressed and go out and play. Okay, now tell me, you a guy that likes to get to the rink early, or? Somewhere in between, I guess. Not too early, not too late. Just at the right time. At the right time, which for our team's about an hour before the game. Yeah. Now, I've been asking a few of the guys this question, and different people have different routines when they get to the rink, but you know, a lot of the teams at this age, the music's blaring when you get there, there's a lot of camaraderie in the room and so forth. Do you like that kind of thing, or do you like to have some focus time before? Or? Yeah, definitely. I like being the whole hype of it. I enjoy it. Just loud music, everybody talking. Okay. I like it a lot. It just gets you pumped up for a game. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about food, and your mom and dad, I'm sure, would attest to this. Everyone knows that you have a broad palette of tastes, that you like to eat all kinds of different things. Yeah. We've had the chance to watch you on trips and so forth. You have quite a variety of tastes in food, as I said. So tell me, what is your favorite food of all the different things that you have? Pretty much anything throwing barbecue, honestly, is probably my favorite food group. Yeah. I like all foods, I guess, pretty much. Just a nice mixture of them all. And your dad does the barbecue? Yeah, usually that's what it is. Although my mom occasionally should probably throw steak on it too. Okay. Now, last weekend we played in Dieppe, and there was at the canteen there was a new menu item that none of us had seen before. Your dad tried it out. Mm-hmm. Did you get to try one of those? I actually didn't, but he kind of told me about it, and it kind of made my mouth water a little bit. But I think if we ever go back, I'll have to try it for sure. So what we're referring to is they had a menu item called a donair dog, which is basically a hot dog with donair meat inside it, and the dressing on top in a bun. And I know a number of the parents who were trying to love them, and I think your dad said he was going to try and source the food vendor that was providing them and get it for the cottage when you have next summer. So that'll be awesome. I'm sure lots of people will be eager to try that out. Okay, what's your favorite, if you're going to go to eat tonight at a restaurant, where would you like to go? What would be your first choice? Probably Montana, I guess. I like the ribs, like the food, like the environment of it, the whole woodsy of it. It's cool. I like it, I guess. Probably one of my favorite restaurants. Okay, Montana's awesome. Any other restaurants that come to mind, like if you're traveling or anything? I like all restaurants pretty much, I guess, because I like all food, so that's pretty much how it is. All right, so tell me about your spare time. So if you're not playing hockey, what are you doing at home if you're just relaxing? A day, like tomorrow might be a snow day, for example. What are you going to do if you're home? Pretty much just watch some TV, chill, maybe play a couple video games, stuff like that. Just normal, typical teenage boy stuff, I guess. Yeah, so what kind of video games do you like? What would you be playing? I like the Call of Duty series a lot, mostly, and I like Halo, I like all that kind of stuff. So. Yeah. Well, I know my son Jeremy, who's a member of the team, has played online with you before, and he said Morgan's a beast. He's really good, so it's
I know Jeremy really enjoyed that and said that it's quite fun to play with Morgan online, which of course a lot of what you guys do nowadays, play online games and stuff. So very good. All right, could you tell me maybe an unusual fact about yourself that maybe someone wouldn't typically know? Anything kind of lurking in there that we should know about?
Probably the weirdest thing I do or have done is water ski, I guess. Not very many people water ski, and that's probably one of my weird talents, I guess you could say, is that I know how to water ski.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the Martins have a beautiful cottage on McClellan Lake, and between you and the McCarthys, there's always people around there. There's boats. I know you guys have a ton of guests, and it's got to be one of your most fun places to be in the summertime, I'm sure, at the cottage, and you guys are there a lot. So water skiing obviously would be a big part of that, and that's great to hear. Tell me about school. So you're a student at Cole St. Anne, which is kind of interesting. We actually have 4 players on this team that go to the French school in Fredericton, which is called the Cole St. Anne. And tell me about school. What's your favorite subject at school?
Probably lunch. Yeah, if I had to pick a real subject for my favorite subject, probably science.
Okay.
I enjoy science a lot. It's just something I find interesting, I guess.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much. I don't really like math very much, and French is so I guess, but it's a French school, so
Yeah.
I guess I get my fix on French.
Yeah, well, one of the benefits is here, we've got 4 completely bilingual guys on the team, which is it's a handy thing to have. It's quite an accomplishment actually to be able to speak 2 languages as well as you guys do, and it's great to see that. Okay, so tell me about. Let's talk a little bit about professional sports. Favorite NHL hockey team?
Montreal Canadiens. I think I really like the history and heritage behind it.
Okay, Habs fan. And what about any particular players that you watch? Maybe 1 or 2?
I can't say I really have a favorite player nowadays,
Yeah.
but if I had to pick one from the
Past years?
I guess past years would be probably Bobby Orr. Back in the day, I've seen videos of him and I've heard stories and stuff, and he's probably one of my idols, I guess.
So just a couple of questions left, Morgan, and it's been great so far having you along. Let me just ask you a couple more questions here, and we'll wrap up the interview. So, if you could meet anybody, living or dead, so if we could go back in time and meet someone, or maybe a present-day person that's influential in your life, or who would you like to meet?
I think if I had to pick one person in the entire world, it'd probably be my grandmother, my mother's side, because she passed away before I was born, unfortunately. And I never got the chance to meet her, but I heard great stories and good stuff about her, and I just think it'd be great if I had the chance to meet her.
Oh, that's a great idea. Wonderful. All right. So Morgan, if we could get you 2 tickets to any sporting event in the world, so you could go back in time and watch the sporting event, or you could say something present day, or something maybe you'd like to go see in the future. What kind of a sporting event would you like to see, and where might that be?
Definitely something in the future that I'd want to go see for sure would be the next Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Okay.
I think just one of the big factors would be that's in New Orleans is I've always wanted to visit that New Orleans, I guess. So it's be a great trip, and I've always wanted to see the Super Bowl, so it'd be a cool experience.
Well, that would be awesome. And I mean, the NFL it's the biggest sports event. Certainly, the Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event in the world by quite a bit, actually. So that would be an awesome thing to go and see and be involved with. Okay, let me just ask you a couple other little things here. So Morgan, I think we're about 22, 23 games into the season. We've got our record's a little bit above 500. It's been a pretty good season so far. So what would you think, what are keys to success for us as we move through the Christmas period and into the second half of the year?
Definitely just work ethic, keep getting better as we go, because I think that's a big part of a team. As long as you keep getting better, you'll just keep improving as a team, and then you'll get further on in the season. You'll keep going and keep going, and it makes everybody better hockey players on the team for the future and present. So
awesome. Now, Morgan, I think as the team has just heard tonight, we've lost one of our defensemen, Brandon Holford. It's going to be out, it looks like, for a month or so. Pressure on the D is going to be there, and you've been a big part of the D. So, any thoughts about moving forward? What's going to happen now that we've lost Brandon?
I mean, he's a really great D. He rushes the puck a lot, makes the plays, and he's definitely going to be a big part of our D gone. But we have great affiliates who can fill in for him, and I'm sure we'll manage, but we'll be really happy to have him back when he comes back.
Yes, well, I'm sure people will be, first of all, thrilled that you're still around, because you're a big part of the D. And tell me, I guess my last question, Morgan, how would you describe your hockey game, your From your own personal point of view, how do you see yourself out there?
Definitely physical.
Yeah.
And I guess the intimidation factors play a big part. I mean, if one of my biggest pet peeves would be if one of the opposing players hits my goalie or even touches him, it really gets me going. So I guess it'd be physical and intimidation.
Yeah, very good. Now, what do you see yourself doing in the next few years? So, what would you like to do with your hockey play, and where do you see yourself going?
Well, I mean, everybody's dream would be midget AAA and then Q and go there and like Luke Duchesne and just that kind of good stuff. But if midget AAA doesn't work out for me, and I'm planning on trying out, just at least I could say I did if I don't make it, and I'll give it my all. But if I don't, I could see myself playing for probably our high school team and just taking it from there.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good plan, and we'll look forward to watching you as you progress to the end of this year and into next year. So I'd like to say thanks very much to Morgan Martin. It's been great having you. And as I said, we're heading up north this weekend. We've got three games in 2 days, I guess, kind of thing. It's a little over 2 days, but we're basically playing Friday night in Woodstock. Then we're going up north. We're going to play in the Bathurst area on Saturday, and Sunday morning we play in Shippagan. So it's going to be a tough weekend. We're going to be a little bit short on D, but I'm sure with Morgan on the back end there, we're going to be just fine. So thanks very much.
Perfect, thank you.